Hello everyone, James here from Sales Builder, and as you know, you'll have seen some of the content hopefully from the Ultimate IT Growth Conference, and I've been going around picking up insights, and what a terrific show it's been. It wouldn't really be complete if I didn't manage to catch Jennifer for a few minutes. Jennifer, thank you. You've kindly given me a little bit of time out of your very busy schedule.
100%. I'm glad we found some time to squeeze it in.
Yeah. Me too. Listen, I wonder, maybe we could just take a couple of minutes for people watching who maybe don't know what this event is about. What was your kind of concept? Because there's quite a strong theme running through this.
Yes. Okay, so the concept is to reveal the secrets of leading seven-figure firms, and specifically in the categories of mindset, marketing, sales, and execution. Because as a growing leader, if you're below that seven-figure mark, there are changes you need to make to how you think about business, how you think about clients and prospects and staffing. And then of course your marketing has to change, your sales process needs to be different, and then executing is different. How do you extricate yourself from the tech work and become the CEO? How do you decide what to do and what to delete? How do you outsource things? How do you do that effectively? So it's a very different shift, and so that's what this whole event has been about.
That's brilliant. There's definitely been a strong emphasis on execution for sure. So in terms of, obviously it's getting to sort of a seven-figure valuation ideally. What's your target, would you say? So typically the people in the room, what sort of size of MSP would you say? What level of maturity?
So the majority of them are in that 1 to 5 million in revenue. And so when I say seven figures, like they're really looking to hit that 5 million and surpass it. And so I had explained this early on, but I kind of use the term seven-figure firm and 5 million synonymous. They're not technically synonyms, but some people in the room are looking to make their first million. That's probably about a third of the room. And then the other 2/3 of the room, they're looking to hit that 5 million mark.
I've got that too, I have to say, from the conversations I've been having.
Those are kind of the two glass ceilings to hit, to break through.
And tell me, so taking a step back, what have been the learnings for you from this in terms of what content that you've done do you think really resonated, and then maybe some that didn't, which any of it's fall flat? I didn't notice anything, but
so here's what's really funny, and I'll just kind of give you the sneak peek into the way event organizers think and kind of process things. Yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, I did a last minute pivot. I called an audible, and I'm like, hey, I've got content that I was going to present in 45 minutes. I'm going to present it all about marketing in like 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to open it up, open forum, ask me anything style. And
that puts the fear of God into me when I do that kind of thing.
I felt like it fell flat. I didn't feel like it delivered a whole lot of value. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should have just stuck to my PowerPoint slide deck. It was a very dynamic session and lots of questions coming from different angles. And there were some aha moments and some resets on the way people were thinking about things. But I stepped off of stage feeling like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have called that last minute change. And then last night I had like 10 people say that was the best session all day. So what I'm saying is that sometimes we're too close to it. It's just like with MSPs. Sometimes you're too close to your own business to be able to spot the good things that are working or the things that are hopelessly broken.
What's the learning from that? What's the learning from that? What can you take from that? So is that, you need externals to work with, or you need someone else in your team to be sort of picking up on that?
No, I don't think it's an external thing. I think there's like the 4 levels of learning, or the 4 levels. Essentially you get to the point where you are unconsciously competent, and a lot of MSPs are there. They are unconsciously competent with security and with technology and with technical stuff, and they forget that that's a superpower. And so that's my learning lesson for the MSPs, is that I forgot, I think there was a piece of, well, that was really easy. It was fun for me, so it must not have been good.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. You're well within your comfort zone, but actually the value was. Yeah. I've got to say, in terms of sessions, I've got to just call this one out. I thought the workshop was really good this morning.
Awesome.
The sales workshop.
The role play thing. Yeah.
Is that something you found in the past has been popular?
Yes. Well, I find that if I announce it in advance, it's not popular because nobody likes role play.
We're talking about cold calling and sales conversations.
Yes.
Role play. Yeah.
And none of us like to role play, right? Because we trip over our words and we're like, I don't know what to say now. You threw me an objection, and I'm like, that's a really good point. Now what do I say? And
a couple of people left the room, definitely. I saw
yes,
some
I did see a couple people kind of like shimmy out as if they needed to use the restroom. And you and I both know they were not going to use the restroom. They never came back. They came back an hour later. So role play is never something that people are like, yay, sign me up for this. But it's always valuable on the other side. It's all, whether you're observing or you're the dreaded salesperson having to role play as a salesperson, or you're the prospect, everybody gets value out of it, and not enough people do it.
Yes, definitely. I will make sure that when we're doing events and things, I think there's got to be some element of that in there. So the workshop environment, definitely.
Yeah, I love the workshop environment too.
Just finally, so in terms of sort of, let's say there's MSPs watching this who perhaps obviously haven't been able to make it. In terms of the top learnings, are there any over the past, we call it the past year or so, and from the event? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yeah.
What are the common things that you see people really need help with, and that you see them make a kind of step change with?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is some type of accountability. And like in an ideal world, like we'd all be self-accountable. We would all write our, our quarterly goals down, and then we just magically execute. And that isn't, like, that's not who I am. It might not be who you are. And so I'm seeing that as a common theme, that business owners in general, MSPs, they need reminded to do things. Like I'm really good at following up with my clients and saying, hey, Michael, you said you were going to do this thing. It's been 3 weeks. Is it done? And so that's a consistent theme. But the biggest shift that I'm seeing is people who are aware of that. A year or two ago, I was talking to MSPs who were like, oh yeah, I can execute, no problem. Now I'm hearing a little bit more of an awareness, like, I don't really execute so well, and I could use a little bit of a governor or an accountability coach or something to kind of keep me honest, make sure I do keep my promises to myself. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. Can I just ask you if you want to tell some MSPs perhaps about what might happen next year, perhaps? So why come along to the next one?
Yes. Okay. So next year, what I'm envisioning, and it doesn't exist yet, but what I'm envisioning is a much smaller room, probably 10 to 20 MSPs, probably still 1 to 2 days, definitely content, but smaller room, more intimate setting where you're bringing things with you, we're workshopping them live, and instead of walking out with pages of notes that you can then apply, you're walking out with work product that is complete.
Interesting.
So it's much more of a small group mastermind for a day or two and getting things done.
That's really interesting, because this has been the first event of its kind that I've been to where it's been this small of an audience and this intimate. I've actually loved the setup, with certainly from a sponsor's point of view, being heavily involved in it as well.
And I am really strongly considering going smaller.
No, it's great. Listen, thank you so much. I know you're very busy, so I really appreciate it.
Yes, happy to do it.
Hopefully we can have a podcast episode sometime soon, actually dive in a bit deeper.
I would love it. That'd be great.